So it's, I've heard good things about it, but yeah. So either they'll refund you or they'll use credit card.
Guys, let's go ahead and get this tour started with a warm and loving aloha. Aloha. Alrighty, here we go. So again, my name is Gigi. I'm gonna be your tour guide for today. A little bit of how this tour is gonna go, guys. This tour is about an hour and a half long. Throughout this tour, we're gonna visit 2 out of our 3 valleys here at Kualoa Ranch. The first one is Kualoa, and it's the one that we're in right now. Okay, so it's our central valley. And the second one is Ka'ava Valley. Can you guys say Ka'ava? Very good, very good. So over there in Ka'ava Valley is where a lot of our movies have been filmed, so that's where we're gonna go heavy on the movie scenes, okay? If you guys look over here, right behind you to the left-hand side, that mountain right there is called Kualoa. And so if you guys can kind of connect the dots to the puzzle piece, Kualoa Ranch, Kualoa Valley, and Kualoa Mountain. So Kualoa means long back. And it has a lot to do with this land, so we'll talk about that as the time keeps coming by, right? And so just know for now that Kualoa means long back. And the Hawaiian language can be very poetic, and so it can also have different interpretations as well. So some people like to think of this as the long back of a big mo'o, a mythical creature that used to roam this land. And other people like to look at it as the long history of the Hawaiian people, okay? But the history of the ranch, how it all started, was with a guy by the name of Dr. Garrett P. Judd. He was a missionary from New England. He came over here with his wife and provided a lot of services to the Hawaiian people. So he quickly caught the attention of the king and quickly became the king's right-hand man. When he did, the king sold him this land right here, Kualoa, 622 acres for $1,300, right? So nowadays, we could do a lot with $1,300. Back then, it was a lot of money. So then Dr. Garrett P. Judd, he continued, strengthening the bond between Great Britain and Hawaii, and even sent royal children from here to New England. So that's one of the ties that they did. Shortly after buying the land, Dr. Garrett P. Judd's son and his son-in-law went ahead and started Oahu's first sugar mill company. So what you guys see over here on the right is not an abandoned church, but the remnants of an old sugar mill that we used to have. Now it only lasted about 8 years because due to the weather here, it's not very suitable for sugar plantation, okay? So they stopped doing that, and that's when they started our cattle ranching. And if you're wondering what this is made up of, it's made up of crushed coral and lava rocks. So pretty different, but cool technique. As we continue throughout our trip, guys, I'm sure you're going to realize that we have these trees over here to our left and to our right. These trees are called monkey pods, okay, and they're originated from Brazil. They were brought over after World War II to provide shades for our cattle during the hot summer days. But speaking of World War II, so the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor happened December 7th, 1941. And that is when the military declared martial law. So during that time, the military took control of about 75% of the Hawaiian Islands and about 30% of Kualoa Ranch itself. Okay? They went ahead and they built a 6,500 strip long airstrip right here. So our right hand side that ran alongside Kamehameha Highway. And at the time, that Kualoa Beach Park was not yet open to the public, so they took some of that as well. And then, of course, people had to wait until the aircraft took off and landed until they could travel through. So that was something different, right? But one of the things that we have here around the islands that kind of remind us of the time that we were under martial law is our bunkers and our pillboxes, okay? Here at Kualoa Ranch, we have about 18, but they can be found all throughout Hawaii. Has anybody been on any hikes yet? No? So Diamond Head is a really good hike. It's really easy. In the beginning, it's not paved, but afterwards it's paved and just stairs and stuff. But a beautiful view on the top and a beautiful pillbox on the top as well. Other hikes such as like Coco Head, right? That one can be a little bit more intense. I don't know why it's stated as a moderate hike. It's very intense, okay? So if you guys are gonna do that, it's pretty much a hike up an old railroad that used to go straight up the mountain. So at one point, it's almost like you're climbing up a ladder, okay? And very easy if you're clumsy, hold on tight because I almost fell back. And it will get windy at the top. But I do suggest you go early in the morning if you want to tackle that challenge, because there's no coverage, so you're just blazing hot out there. So you'll find another pillbox. You actually find two pillboxes up there. So I just mentioned this because a lot of our popular hikes do have some kind of pillbox or a bunker associated with them. In a little bit, we're going to be passing by some of the bunkers that we have here once we get over this hill. So throughout this tour, guys, you're going to see some of our animals. Like, we are a working ranch, so you'll see a lot of our cattle, and our cows are out there today, and they're super cute. So something that you can admire on the way. Also, if you see squirrel-looking like things, they're actually called mongoose, and they were man-made to get rid of the rats, but, you know, they both come out at different times of the day. Like, anybody live in Florida? No? Okay, well. They created love bugs, if you guys, to get rid of the mosquitoes, but they come out different types, so they're just two annoying things now. Over here, guys, we have our first approaching bunker. So these stairs just go downstairs to an airtight sealed door. What you'll find in there is just like our critters, so you might find some rats occasionally. When the rats aren't there, you'll see the mongoose, centipedes, cane spiders, and occasionally you'll find my boyfriend sleeping down there, okay? Now when he misbehaves, I send him here, he learns his lesson, and then 3 months later, I have to send him back here again. It's kind of like the cycle. So ladies, if you have your man, he's misbehaving, come talk to me. Like, one night, he'll learn. Right here, we have the other approaching bunkers and pillboxes, right? So like this one, this truck's backed into an ammunition. And then these over here were also used for different things. But if you can tell, they're kind of breaking apart already. So they're pretty worn out, pretty old, and we don't use them for anything, so they're just standing here. But where I'm taking you guys to is one of our functioning bunkers. So this bunker was built for World War II, but wasn't dug in and built until 2 years after. So I like to say it runs Hawaii time. If you guys ever get invited to a party and you come on time, you're too early, okay? You gotta wait like an hour and a half, and then start showing up, okay? So the kind of like the same thing happened with our bunker. So right now, guys, it's gonna be a little small drop. Not too bad. So the bunker I'm taking you to is a big U-shaped bunker, and it runs about 120 feet deep into the mountain point at the deepest spot, and it has an observation point 7 stories above in the middle, which used to be the main entrance. Okay, so what you'll find there today is our memorabilia. So the beginning portion of the bunker is dedicated to the events of World War II. You'll find a vehicle there. You're allowed to go in it. It's fine. And then as we continue through the tunnel, you'll find pictures and photos of movies that have been featured here, as well as some movie props. So go ahead and take a lot of pictures of that as well. When you exit through, you're going to see another Jeep over there. You get into that one as well. Now that is the Jeep that Chris Pratt drove in our valley. So if you get in there and you touch the wheel, never wash your hands, okay? But don't give me a handshake either. I don't want it. But yes, what you'll also find up there to our right-hand side is our beautiful ocean view. But this road right here is extremely high traffic going in and out, both tours and also other vehicles. So do not cross over just yet. You can leave your belongings up in the car, the bus. Once you guys go inside, I'm gonna move the bus forward, and then you guys can meet me there. Now because I'll be in the front, I'll be able to watch you guys, and you guys are more than welcome to cross over at the exit point, just not at this point. But don't worry, the view is still as spectacular over there as it is here. Some key warnings about this area real quick. It's extremely windy. You guys are in here, that you guys really enjoyed the bunker. So it's a pretty cool area we get to stop at. Before we head downwards, I want to go ahead and show you guys this first. So this right here is Triple Frontier. Now who has seen that movie? Triple Frontier? Yeah, you. Alright, so you remember when they were scaling the side of the mountain and they were like way up above ground? This is it right here. This 3-foot drop right there. That's all it is. And then it's something pretty cool too. If you realize the mountainside right here, that's real. The bottom is fake. It's actually made out of styrofoam, plywood, and chicken wire. Okay, so very deceiving. But here you go. This is just a little introduction to Hollywood. Alright? They use a lot of cheap props and they make a lot only the first part. I'm gonna show you what happened before this. So the whole cocaine village crash, okay, that happened before this, and we'll be heading there shortly. So while we're on this side, guys, just know that this is the largest parcel of the ranch. This is Kualoa Valley. About 2,200 acres of land sold for $4,000 to Dr. Jared B. Judd. Here, sorry. So pretty cool here. What we're about to do, guys, is we're about to take a detour. Because in this section, right, is where a lot of the Hollywood blockbuster movies did their filming and TV shows as well. You're gonna notice that our land is pretty much undeveloped though. So it looks nothing like Waikiki, nothing like Ko'olina and West Side. So it's a little bit different in that sense. And this is what the true country really looks like, right? So without buildings and civilization on that sort, this is the true. So you get to see that. We're gonna be heading there right now because we're agriculture sector. So down this way. Where we kind of try to keep our kualoa, which is responsibility, and making sure that the land is sustainable not only for the current generation that we're in, but also future generations to come. And so back in the day, Hawaiian ancestors always made sure that there was fresh water around, right, to sustain. So we try to do the same concept here. So this area is only where pre-site tour gets to go and also e-bike tours get to go. But you guys actually get to see behind the scenes, right? Because here at Kualoa Ranch, we're more than just movies that have been filmed here, and we're more than just the tours that happen around us, okay? So what you guys see around us here, they're called local wa'i. And wa'i in Hawaiian means water. So these are fresh waters that provide water to our smaller livestock, like our chickens, our turkeys, our piglets, and our sheep, and also our rabbits as well. So you're going to see some of them here coming up soon. You're going to notice some trees around. So we have coconut trees, right? And in Hawaiian, the way you say coconut is iu, just like the word iu, right? We have some banana, breadfruit, which Hawaiian word for that is ugu. And then we have some apple bananas here. And we'll get to see some more apple bananas a little bit further up ahead. This triangular shaped hollow right here is called a halid ba'a. Okay, this is where people used to store their canoes back in the day. And then back over there is an actual halid. Halid is the Hawaiian word for house. So we'll get to see a little bit of the Hawaiian villages as we proceed forward too. Coming right around the corner is a second movie site location scene. This is towards the end of Kong. So this is the whole, kind of like not the last battle scene, but close to the end, okay? Over here where you see those rocks, Samuel L. Jackson was standing on top of those rocks in the movie, and when Kong was getting closer, he threw in his torch from those rocks into the ponds right over here. And so he had previously poured gasoline into these ponds, and so when he threw in his torch, it lit up, right? You guys remember that part? Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's okay, it just means that there's a lot of movies for you to rewatch. Just take a lot of pictures, and then when you watch it again, you'll be like, hey, I was there. That's right, you were. In reality, guys, when it was meant to defeat Kong, it actually just weakened him. But in reality, those rocks are made out of styrofoam. And we didn't actually pour gasoline into our ponds because, well, we are a agriculture and aquaculture over here, so that would be really bad. Over here, we raise our shrimps. We do have oysters. We have a different place where we raise our oysters. Right here, have you guys had garlic shrimp yet while you guys have been here on the island? No? Okay. So our visitor center, Auntie Pat's Cafe, about 80% of the food that you eat there comes directly from our land. Okay, so the vegetables, the fruit, the meat. But we do sell garlic shrimp there. We also sell garlic shrimp in our farmers market, which is open, when we sell our shrimp there, which is open Sundays to Thursdays from 10 to 5. But if you guys head over North Shore side, there's a lot of shrimp trucks over there, okay? Now, there's this one shrimp truck called Giovanni's, right? It's a tourist trap. They all get their shrimp from the same exact location, so don't wait in that long line, okay? Just go find another one and then eat from there. They're really good. Coming up to our left-hand side, guys, are our gopher sheep. They weren't here first thing in the morning. I think they did their doctor's appointment, but they came back. These cute things are super adorable, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, Gigi, why do you have sheep here? Isn't it too hot? Well, these sheep are actually from South Africa, and they're really easy, like, to maintain. They adjust to different climates easy, and they're like pretty much self-sufficient in a way. They shed their own wool, so we don't even have to shear them. So it's pretty cool. If you ever if you were to step out of here and then walk up to the fence, they'll all start running to you. So they'll think you're trying to feed them. And then coming up ahead, guys, is our yearlings. So our yearlings are our cattle between 6 to 18 months of age. They're old enough to be separated from their parents, so they're branded and tagged and just kept in a different area. So they're coming up here ahead to the right. If any of you guys ever wanted, have you guys ever wanted a farm? Your own cows, your own piglets? No? I always did, okay? And then I started working here. And it's amazing because I have all of these animals that I've always wanted. And I don't even have to take care of them. The ranch does that. So I'm just living the life.
You're pretty big.
So coming up ahead, guys, we have our Melanesian prawns here on our left, as well as our tilapia. And over to our right-hand side, we have more ulu trees, okay? So cool thing about our ulu, they're known as breadfruit because when you bake them, they're the same consistency as bread, but really more so like our Polynesian potatoes, okay? Because anything you can do with potato, you can do with ulu, like mashed ulu, baked ulu, and even delicious as well.
Oh.
They're super delicious and they're really nutritious. They're packed with omega, vitamin A and C, some fatty acids as well as some other things. So pretty cool. Over here, guys, on our left-hand side, we have our apple bananas, and then on the right, we have our papayas. And then as we get closer, they're switched. Okay, so we have our apple bananas on the right, papayas on the left. Now, if you notice with these papayas, guys, they're planted in bunches. And that's because when they're seeds, we don't know which one is male and which one is female. So we kind of just give them time to grow. And then as they get older, the women start bearing fruit, right? And the men, well, they do nothing. So what do? Ladies, we cut them off. Just cut them off. And then we just let the women and the ladies flourish. Start bearing papayas. It's pretty cool. Several things I want to point out in this section, guys. This barn right here was actually used in the movie Jumanji. Now, this is not the film location set. However, this is the barn, and we relocated it over here to provide homes for our little piglets. And then the second thing I want you guys to notice, everybody, breathe in, breathe out. Trust me, if your tour guide is doing it, it's safe to do it. What do you guys smell? I heard somebody say, pigs, I smell pigs. Well, not really. Because if you've ever been to a pig farm, you can smell them miles and miles away. They stink, okay? So instead of using the traditional flat floor that we have to mop and it stinks really bad, we use a deep litter system. So about 6 feet underneath, we just stuff them with coconut husks, mulch, logs, branches. And what that does, guys, is it creates a living organism that just eats it all up. Okay, so now we can have a piggery with relatively no smell to it. We have two different types of pigs here. We have Yorkshire and we have Duroc. The Yorkshire is white in color, and our Duroc is kind of like the Angus version of pigs, right? So it's high quality pork. Over here to our left, guys, we have our Lilith koi vines, which is our passion fruit. The purple ones are from Brazil, and the yellow ones are from Australia. And then on our left, we also have our turkeys. So we got these around November-ish, and we all thought that they were going to be our Thanksgiving dinner, right? But then we kept them, right? But they were actually in the same place as our chickens to the right. So something must have happened, and now they're singled out over here. So we have our two turkeys here, the rest are our chickens over here. We have different types and breeds of chicken. We have barn hog, Americana, Australo, and some others as well. But we have Easter egg colored eggs. And we normally use them for their eggs and their meat. But they're super cute too. Just fertilize the ground and sleep and lay eggs.
Oh, I smell it.
Over here to our left-hand side, guys, we have our cacao trees. Anybody know what cacao is? It's chocolate. That's right. It takes about 5 years for a cacao tree to fully mature, and they give out about 30 to 40 pods per year. So we do make our own chocolate here, guys. We have milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and coffee. If you want nice tasting chocolate because you're a chocolate lover, or you need a gift to give to somebody, go ahead and check out our visitor center and even our farmers market sells them. So that's cool. Coming up over here to the right hand side is our shade house. So we hold different educational stuff here, but also we grow our plumerias, which is our Hawaiian flowers. You can find all around the island in different colors. We grow kale, turmeric, adobo ginger as well. And these cactus cooking plants here, they grow our papayas. So we have 2 different types of papaya. We have a red one, which isn't very sweet, but is more used for drink flavoring. And then we have the yellow ones that are sweet. Over here to our left, we have what's called a noni. So nonis are used for medicinal purposes mainly. If you ever are sick, you can eat a noni, or you can like take a shot of like noni juice that they sell. And if you ever injure yourself, and it's just taking longer to heal, you just rub some noni on it. Before morning, our noni, they smell horrible and they taste even worse. Okay, so you just gotta wait it out. Back here, guys, we have some more dragon fruit, some more what is that? Cacao trees in the back as well. We are leaving this area, but this is just a little sidetrack just to show you guys that we're more than just entertainment. We actually have a lot more behind the scenes. That's pretty cool. But now, guys, we are entering our Ka'a'awa Valley, also known as Jurassic Valley. So this is the valley that's going to take you down many of the movies that have been featured here. What I'm going to do in a little bit is I'm just going to come here at the hospital, but those were part of the props that were messed up by the doctors. So rest in peace. As you can see here, guys, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway, right? But you didn't hear it, right? You guys didn't hear it. But over here on the right-hand side is where they're filming the new TV series with King Kong. Right here, on the right. So, again, you didn't hear it from me. Actually, you didn't hear it at all. A lot of times when people are filming here, we keep it hush-hush, right? So one of the second stops that we're about to come to, we actually had all of those movies props underneath the tarp for about a year until it was actually released. Okay, so they're extremely private and discreet about it. When movies are being filmed here, we aren't supposed to say anything about it. We normally have like keywords that we use to keep it secret. But from time to time, we have to pass by them, right? Because we can only reroute so often, and movie site tour actually doesn't reroute at all. So they just stop us for about 5 minutes at a time, let us go, and tell us to drive by fast. But we always drive by slow, look at all the actors and the actresses, and then we tell them, hey, safety first, okay? Safety first. But about 2 months ago, we had Jason Momoa here, and he was filming this new Apple TV series called Triple Wars. So guys, just imagine, okay, there were a whole bunch of Polynesian dudes out here, okay, tattoos, no shirt, and those little skirts that they wore back then, okay? Did I go slow? Yes, I went slow. Did I end up seeing Jason Momoa? No, his back was probably turned to me. Oh man, I know what you guys are thinking, like, Gigi, you have a boyfriend, what are you thinking, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you, my boyfriend works here, and he also went slow, and he took pictures, so he went out me. I didn't go that far, okay? He took pictures. But over here, guys, this is our Hawaiian village, and so it's just a little representation of how Hawaiians used to live back in the day. This area is used for like local TVs filming, like local commercials and music videos and stuff. But over here, guys, I just want to point out that unlike our houses, Hawaiian houses are different. They have a different house for everything that they do. So one for cooking, one for eating, one for sleeping. Alright, it's not together like our houses are. And if you realize here, the rocks are higher up from the ground. That's because the person living there was said to have more power. More like a high ranking. And then the lower the rocks are to the ground, the more commoner she were. And so now, guys, we are heading towards Palm School Island. Okay, so this is said to be the boneyard of Palm's parents. Everything you see is made out of styrofoam. So on our really windy days or the days that we get flooded, we do have to roll it back. Okay, but you know it's all part of the fun. Please do not sit on them because they are breaking a little bit, and please don't pick up anything because a lot of stuff gets settled in it, and when you pick it up, you disturb them. The ants and stuff, they will attack you, and so you just want to keep that still. Because where are you guys gonna run if you're being attacked by bees? You're probably gonna run back into the vehicle, right? And then guess who else is in the vehicle? Me and everybody around. So I don't feel like getting attacked by bees today. But you can sit on Matty Jo Young's back, and you can lean on this log right here. But just several weeks back, somebody did fall down the hill, ended up breaking their arm. So please don't go up the hill and down the hill. And then also keep in mind that we have cows, right? So if you guys look on the ground, those are not dirt piles, those are poop piles. Okay? So please be careful where you step. But on the other two, yeah, I can feel it. But moving on, guys, we are approaching Dakota. So Dakota is our pet. He's the only longhorn that we have, and he's super cute and sweet. So we got him back in 2018 from a family that was raising him. So he gets along with humans just fine. Okay, like he lets us feed him. He comes to us occasionally. He lets us get on his back. But he does not get along with other cows. Okay, so that's why he's here. But he lives here, guys, rent-free. He's spoiled, has everything he needs in here. So if you guys have any jobs for him, let us know. Okay, we'd love to put him to work. Dakota right now, he is the biggest animal that we have here. That didn't always used to be the case. So our next site that we're approaching actually had a huge elephant, zebras, and lions as well. That came all the way from our Honolulu Zoo. Who can guess what this movie is? George on the jungle. Right, got it. George on the jungle. So the big elephant was actually on the right side, and this is where George, featuring Brandon Fraser, right, was on the back of the elephant with Ursula, and they were looking for Ursula's fiance, Lyle. Okay, if you guys haven't not watched that movie, don't worry, I'm not going to make you walk back, but you should probably watch it, because it's pretty good, you know? It's pretty good. It's so good that they are not listening to me when I tell them that they need a remake of it. They're like, no, the old one's fine. But no, guys, with these animals, we did try to keep up the ranch and the zookeeper said no. But I think it would be pretty gnarly if we had like a zoo right over here, right? That would be pretty gnarly. But what do I know about owning animals or anything? But coming up, guys, we have Journey 2. Journey 2 is a really good movie, and it's kids friendly as well, featuring Dwayne Johnson and Vanessa Hudgens. In this movie, guys, everything was enlarged. Okay, so they had a large giant lizard, large flying beast, and in this movie, they discovered adventures. Okay, so some of the movie props are over here, along with our cows and our little babies that were born not too long ago. I love the babies because they're so small and so fluffy. When they get older, they get more stubborn. But anyways, guys, some of the props are here, and some of the props are actually still in battery first, so you might have saw it. Another movie that I want to talk to you guys about that was filmed here is Finding Ohana. Who has seen that movie on Netflix? Yeah, I do. So Finding Ohana is kind of like the remake of the movie. Except it's like a twist in it, Hawaiian culture instead. So in that movie, they mention a lot of words in Hawaiian words like homoponopono, which basically is something wrong, right? And also ohana, which means family. Okay. Anybody want to know what's this? Was not filmed here, but ohana means family, and family means guys. Come on, everybody with me. No one gets left behind or forgotten. Guys, this is why you guys are my morning ohana today, okay? I gotta make sure you get into my vehicle because you don't get left behind or forgotten, right? But in this movie, guys, apart from that, Hannah tells Tijuana about entering the cave and how you have to pay your respects before getting through. So very similar to that, these mountains right here, Kualoa Mountain, has a legend that says that there's a lava tunnel in there that stretches between here all the way to Honolulu. And for this lava tubes are it's like the burial sites for the high ranking. Alright, so that's why there's a cocktail top, it's forbidden, nobody's allowed up there. That is called Hokukaina. If you ever heard me say Hokukaina, just know, yes, that is called Hawaii Mountain. No, if anybody knows the Hokukaina, that's what it is, alright? And then right over here to the left-hand side, guys, we have what is called an kualoa. You guys say aho? Kualoa. Alrighty, so aho is an altar, kualoa is a pig, so we have a pig set up on an altar. If you notice, it says kualoa, kualoa, because we are now leaving Ka'awa Valley and heading into Kualoa. So it's kind of used as a landing mark and the street, right? It's just a ground sign that says Kualoa is where we're going. So pretty cool in that sense. But this place, guys, used to be this place used to be a kualoa, which means city of refuge. Sorry guys, I've been distracted by the safety of this place. I don't know what they're doing.
Where are they?
Okay. Honua, alright? It means the city of refugee. And so if you were able to pass by that Kualoa back in the day and you were running away from the law, they couldn't touch you. Okay, here they were like a big leader and kind of like forgiven those and protected those who've done wrong and teaching them the proper way to live and behave. So this is where it happened over here, guys. And Kualoa was even more sacred. Simply because it said that the first voyagers arrived here by canoe.
What was the
So when that happened, it said that everybody got on top of this mountain and that's before the top was placed. And they kind of blessed the gods and kind of thanked them for safe travel. So that's something that happened here. And a lot of history here at Kualoa Ranch can be tied to like legends and mo'olelo, which is like translated to storytelling. And it just passes down stories of generation to generation, teaching a lesson, right? And so I have a little twist to this because the story I'm about to tell you right now is about a big mo'o that used to protect this land. And so this is like a big mountain-sized lizard type creature, right? But there's, I think it's more symbolic to the things that actually happened, which I'll explain here in a little bit. Have you guys heard of the demigoddess Helen? essentially known to be the demigoddess of volcano, lava, and fire. And she was a very wrathful person. Like, you probably know someone in our life you don't want to mess with, right? Because if you do, we might have a bad day. Maybe we'll have a bad week. Or in terms of my married couple, right? If you're married, you keep doing the same thing over and over, you might have a bad life, right? So, this is just one person you just don't want to say no to. So she has a little sister named Hiyaka, and she goes to her one day and says, Hiyaka, I want you to go to the island of Hawaii, and I want you to bring me this guy. His name is Lokia. He's the love of my life. I just can't leave here because if I do, I fear that this place is going to burn in heaven, right? So Hiyaka says, okay, I don't really want to say no to you, so I'll do it. She ends up traveling from island to island, and then she stumbles across this right here. And so now the fastest way to Hawaii is through walking. So she approaches the momo. The momo says, sis, what's your business? Hiyaka tells him, like, aloha momo, I want to cut through a wall to get to Hawaii faster. And the momo replies, I have one job, and that is to protect this land. I don't know you, I don't trust you. I'll tell you what, I'll let you walk around. Well, Hiyaka did not like that very much. So they got into an argument, and that argument led into a battle. And now this battle lasted 3 whole long days. By the end of the 3rd day, the momo was tired, he was hungry, he knew he was gonna lose. So he went to run away. As he did that, Hiyaka grabbed his tail. Now, can you guys tell me what happened when you grabbed the tail of a lizard? It fell off. Okay, so very much like the tail of the lizard, she grabbed it and it fell off. She throws it into the middle of the ocean. The momo is all in distress like, oh, where's my tail, right? And so Hiyaka took that last opportunity to deliver the final blow and knocked the momo out. Okay, now she continued her travels, finds Lohiao. It turns out the guy is in love with another woman. Alright, so it was a very, very bad time. Tyler was really wrathful. There's another story. It does not end well for any of them. But this just goes to prove several things, right? So I told this story. In reality, it was probably a really strong woman, right? Who came to this place and was faced with a battle of men that was protected the land, okay? And she fought them for 3 days. But she relates the battle to similar to fighting a big giant sized momo. Okay, so that was her battle, right? And so we teach this story to our kiki, our little children, and we tell them this so that they know in life you're gonna have a lot of struggles, right? You're gonna have a lot of mountain-sized problems, like the big momo. And if you go around it or you try to avoid it, you're really not gonna get past it, right? The problems will always be there coming back. The only way through your problems, through your struggles, is to go head on through, right? We all know this, right, guys? Alright. The second reason you guys might get this or not, alright, it is not also, so prepare yourself. There's this thing called not messing with women, right? Because if you mess with women, something might just fall off, right?
A little rat.
Did you get it? Oh, okay, I see something out for good then. So have you guys heard of the island called Chinaman's Hat? There's an island called Chinaman's Hat, okay? Now, it's not originally called Chinaman's Hat, it's called Mokovi'i, alright? So Mokovi'i translates to little lizard, and it is said that that island right there is the little tail of the big momo. And that kualoa is actually the momo still resting to this day. And so that's why kualoa has so much significance in the land. It's why we have 3 things named after it, okay? This is just very important. The reason why this island got the name Chinaman's Hat, which you guys are going to be able to see here in a little bit, is because when we had our plantation fields with our pineapples, we used to have a lot of people coming over from that side, okay? From China, from the Philippines. And when they came over, guys, they brought with them the straw hat that protected their face from the sun. A very smart invention they had. Well, one day, one of the guys looked at this island and said, hey, that looks like my hat. I'm going to call it Chinaman's Hat. And can you guys believe that it stuck? The name actually stuck. But what is this island called?